What's up, everybody? It's your man's KJ the Great, dropping another edition of All Sports Media TV. But first, I want to say, I hope and pray everything is great your way. Now, let's get to it. All right, y'all. Big time announcement in the sport of boxing as undefeated, newly elevated WBO super welterweight champion, none other than Tszyu, son of former champion Tszyu, has been elevated to the WBO champion full status. He is 23 wins, no losses, no draws, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He will be taking on Brian Mendoza for the WBO championship in Australia, October 15th. This has just been announced, literally just been announced. Brian Mendoza is the WBC interim champion at super welterweight. He is 22 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. And I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a crazy, crazy action-packed fight in my opinion. Both fighters coming off back-to-back wins. Let's start with Tszyu, the undefeated WBO champion. Now, he'll get that full elevation of WBO championship status. He was scheduled to go into a undisputed fight against Dremel Lions Only Hitman CHARLO back in January 28th. But CHARLO suffered a hand injury that saw him have to pull out of that fight. So Tszyu, he wanted to stay active. So he went into the same day on January 28th, he took on a former rival of CHARLO, that being Tony Harrison. And he ended up stopping Tony Harrison in the 9th round. Big time stoppage for Tszyu, because, man, that was a massive, massive way to stop him. Then he said, nope, I'm not waiting around. I want to stay active. He took on Carlos Ocampo, and he got a 90-second knockout against Carlos Ocampo. I thought that fight would go maybe a few more rounds, and I thought he would win it. But yeah, he got a 90-second knockout against Carlos Ocampo. Those are 2 big wins for him, cementing himself as one of the top dogs at 154 pounds. Crazy, crazy, right? I know. Now let's talk about Brian Mendoza. So, Brian Mendoza, although he has the 2 losses on his record, he is coming off of back-to-back KO victories. One being over Rosario. Jesse Rosario. I believe that's how you say his first name. Rosario. Sent that man into retirement, pretty much. Rosario is also a former opponent of CHARLO. You seen CHARLO get a stoppage victory over him as well during COVID times, I believe. You know, Jamel, he pretty much caught him with a stiff jab to the body, knocked all the wind out of him. He couldn't breathe. He was out. It was over. Woo! That was it. Then he went up against Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno. Guys like 6'6" at 154 pounds. Looked like he string beans with 2 boxing gloves on his end of his arms. But he's a good fighter, though. I mean, he got knocked down against Erickson Lupin. He got up and proved himself. So he's a good fighter. His sister's a good fighter. I give them both credit. But in the fight with Brian Mendoza, he caught him. That overhand left, boom. Caught him, sent him down to the mat, boom, with that right. And he was out of there. Brian Mendoza became the WBC interim super welterweight champion, and all of that leads to right here, October 15th in Australia. Now, some sources did try to peg this fight as a world title unification bout. So I want to be clear with you guys. Only the WBO, World Boxing Organization, decided to strip Jermell Charlo of his WBO title, essentially stripping him of his undisputed status at super welterweight. So that's the only major title on the line. Although Brian Mendoza is the WBC interim champion, he is not the full champion. So he's not the champion unless the WBO comes out and announces that they're going to strip Jermell Charlo of his full champion status. Which, I'm going to say this. If Jermell Charlo beats Canelo Alvarez, we know they got an undisputed matchup going on September 30th. If he somehow beats Canelo Alvarez, look for the WBC to make him make a decision. Stay at 168 or you defend at 154. If he doesn't defend at 154, they will strip him of that title or he will relinquish those belts. And that will elevate Brian Mendoza to full championship status, and this will become a world title unification bout. And I'm telling you guys, this puts a big spin on everything. Because you know you got two of the big dogs moving up into super welterweight. That being undefeated, two-time undisputed junior welterweight and welterweight champion Terrence Bud Crawford, who is 40 wins, no losses, no draws, 31 wins by way of knockout. He's moving up to 154. And also, former three-belt welterweight undefeated champion, now defeated one defeat champion, that being Earl the Truth Spence Jr. He held the WBA, IBF, and the WBC welterweight titles until he lost to Terrence Crawford. He will be making his debut at 154 real soon. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about that rematch with them two, but a lot of people are also saying Earl Spence needs to take either Tszyu or Keith Thurman to get his feet wet, get back on the winning track to bring more interest into that rematch. We'll talk about that at another time. So, that being said, we pretty much got four big dogs in the super welterweight division right now. And Tszyu is the top dog of them all right now because he is the champion. Nobody else is. So with this fight, I will be bringing you guys my final predictions at another time, not right now, because I like both of these fighters. And it's going to be hard for me to pick one. So I'm going to let this marinate just a little bit longer. So by the time the undisputed match with Canelo and Charlo go down, that same week, the week after, I'm going to say that, I want you guys to look for my final predictions video on this fight. But that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me on Instagram at All Sports Media TV. Follow me on my other Instagram at KJ-the-Great09. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, share button, all of that for me. I appreciate you guys dearly. Thank you again. Stay tuned. Peace.